Just before 7:15 on the morning of the 31st of January 2003, Mr. Herman Zaides was driving a Sydney train when he suffered a cardiac arrest. A number of safety mechanisms which should have stopped the train all failed. The train sped up and hit a bend much faster than was safe. It derailed and was thrown into a rock wall. 47 passengers were aboard the train. 7 were killed and 19 were terribly injured. The crash brought down electric power lines which created danger to anyone close to the trains. Senior Constables David Wicks and Philip Sheehan were among the first to arrive. They were confronted with indescribable devastation. At great risk to themselves, they entered the carriages and started to evacuate the wounded. They kept at it in those awful conditions for many hours. Their commitment to their duty meant that each officer encountered psychiatric distress, and they sued the State Rail Authority for negligence. There was no doubt of their injury, or the negligence of the State Rail Authority. However, the authority contested liability on the basis of the relevant words in the Civil Liability Act, which stated in effect that a person could only claim if they witnessed at the scene a person being killed, injured or put in peril. The idea of this provision is to narrow down liability so that you don't end up with everyone who stops to look making claims. But the State Rail Authority argued that since the police had arrived after the crash, they had not witnessed the people being killed, being injured or being put in peril, because all of those things had already happened by the time they got there. The High Court wasn't having any of that nonsense. Their Honours said, the consequences of the derailment took time to play out. Some aboard the train were killed instantly. But even if all of the deaths were instantaneous or nearly so, not all of the injuries sustained by those on the train were suffered during the process of derailment. And the perils to which living passengers were subjected as a result of the negligence of State Rail did not end when the carriages came to rest. Sometimes common sense does prevail. Now it's clear that while the Act restricts liability to people affected by their immediate experiences, that can't be read too strictly.